In this module, we will learn about carrier aggregation CA. Let us start with carrier aggregation concept, CA concept. Carrier aggregation is used to increase the channel bandwidth. Extension of the bandwidth is possible with carrier aggregation. So carrier aggregation can be done with intra-band contiguous. That means if there are two component carrier within the same frequency band, in this example frequency band A, these component carrier can be aggregated and used. The next is intra-band non-contiguous. In this case, the two component carriers belongs to the same frequency band, say frequency band A, but they are not contiguous. Such component carriers can also be aggregated. The third is interband non-contiguous. In this case, the component carriers are from two frequency bands. In this example, the component carrier 1 is from frequency band A and component carrier 2 is from frequency band B. So such component carriers can also be aggregated. The carrier aggregation was possible in 4G and also possible in 5G. Let us look at how control channel and data is transmitted over the aggregated channel bandwidth. Let us look at an example where three component carriers are aggregated. Two are from band 1, these are contiguous, and then from band 2, one component carrier is getting aggregated. So three component carriers are getting aggregated. So one of the component carrier, in this example, the blue one, generally having largest coverage, the component carrier having largest coverage is made as a primary serving cell PSC, and this component carrier is called primary component carrier. So the blue one, which is a primary component carrier being transmitted by primary serving cell, it carries the control signaling, RRC connection, and also data and signaling. The other two component carriers, the green one and the red one, are transmitted from secondary serving cell, and these component carriers are known as secondary component carrier, SCC, and these carries only user data. It doesn't carry the control signaling or RRC connection. So this is a concept of carrier aggregation, how control signaling and data is transmitted over the aggregated carrier. Now let us look at the carrier aggregation in 4G, that is LTE Advanced and LTE Advanced Pro. So the carrier aggregation concept, CA concept, was introduced in LTE Advanced, that is release 10 of LTE, wherein it was possible to aggregate 5 component carriers. We know that in 4G LTE, the maximum channel bandwidth can be of 20 MHz. So up to 20 MHz carriers, 5 numbers of such carriers can be aggregated. So overall bandwidth, channel bandwidth, which could have been achieved was up to 100 MHz. 20 into 5 is 100 MHz. Further, in release 13, which is known as LT Advanced Pro, support of 32 component carriers was provisioned. So with 32 component carriers from 5 to 32, so that means 20 into 32, that is up to 640 megahertz channel bandwidth could have been achieved. Practical deployment of this 32cc may not be there. I'm really not aware about, but 5 component carrier aggregation deployment we can see in various parts of the world. In 5G NR, support of 16 component carriers is there. That means 5G supports carrier aggregation of 16 component carriers, up to 16 component carriers. And these component carriers can be intra-band contiguous, intra-band non-contiguous, and inter-band non-contiguous. And it is possible that the carrier aggregation in frequency range 1, the bands which are in frequency range 1, and also the bands which are in frequency range 2 will be possible to be used for carrier aggregation. It is also possible that the carrier aggregation of LT and 5G NR can also be used, and such carrier aggregation is known as dual connectivity. In case of a dual connectivity, a 5G handset device connects to new radio as well as the LT, and it uses both carriers, LT carriers and 5G carriers, for data transmission. So in 5G, up to release 16, maximum channel bandwidth which can be achieved through carrier aggregation is 1.2 gigahertz. The component carrier, the aggregated component carriers can use different numerologies. So that means in one band, component carrier one band, you can use one numerology. In other component carrier, you can use other numerology. There are certain bands in TDD, certain bands in FDD. So carrier aggregation will be possible in both TDD and FDD. The carrier aggregation is also possible in licensed band and also unlicensed band. And in 5G, there are certain supplementary uplink. There are certain bands for supplementary uplink, and there are certain bands for supplementary downlink. So carrier aggregation of a FDD or TDD band can also be aggregated with supplementary uplink band or supplementary downlink band. So what we learned is that in 5G, the carrier aggregation up to 16 component carriers is possible. So the main use case is the bandwidth extension. So with carrier aggregation, our bandwidth increases, and so as our overall data rate. In case we use supplementary uplink, so that means the carrier aggregation used here is for increase the uplink coverage. So generally, higher frequency band would give you a lesser coverage, and the coverage limitation is mainly from the mobile side, from the uplink direction. If you look at the mobile, To increase the coverage in case a lower band is allocated only for uplink using the carrier aggregation, then our overall coverage of higher frequency band can increase, which will be mainly used in downlink direction, and uplink direction a lower frequency band can be used. So carrier aggregation with supplementary uplink, the main use case is increasing the uplink coverage. Now let us look at carrier aggregation in unlicensed band. So carrier aggregation of licensed and unlicensed spectrum will be possible. So when we say unlicensed spectrum, so the spectrum on which our Wi-Fi works, 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz, 6 gigahertz, that is unlicensed band. So it will be possible to deploy 5G in unlicensed band, and the carrier aggregation between licensed band and unlicensed band will be possible. And this is possible in a NSA non-standalone deployment and SA deployment. So both, it can be used in NSA and SA deployment both. So in this example, this is a NSA deployment, non-standalone deployment, where you have a 4G network, 4G radio, LTE, and Evolved Packet Core. But you have also deployed new radio. A new radio deployed is in unlicensed band. So this NRU is actually anchored with LTE. So that means NRU do not have direct connectivity with EPC, and all those control plane travels through LTE itself. Any 5G device capable of carrier aggregation can connect to both NRU and LTE, and it can have dual connectivity, that means double the data rate. In this example, we have a standalone network where we have 5G core and 5G radio, and the 5G radio is also deployed on unlicensed band. U is for unlicensed bands, NRU. So there is a carrier aggregation of unlicensed band and licensed band. A mobile phone can use data from NRU as well as NR parallelly with carrier aggregation. This NRU is anchored to the NR, which is on licensed band. So click next on top right menu for proceeding to next module of the course.